So, Madam, I want to ask, is there any work challenges at office overseas?
I guess that question is for me lah kan. Of course there will be challenges. What is life without challenge? It will be so boring. Whether it is overseas or in Malaysia or in your own kampung or in your own house, there will be challenge. So fine, take up the challenge, be brave, okay, face it and move on. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. When you learn to face those challenges, solve the problem, manage the situation, and then you get up, you move on. So yes, there are challenges definitely. But you learn to adapt and you learn to solve.
Okay. Second question is also for Madam Yasmin. So, what is the main difference of non-Malaysian bosses and Malaysian bosses?
That sounds like a trap question. Who actually asked that question? Okay. Remember just now I talked about the second point that I learned is about culture. So different country, different people have different culture, and culture is very, very important. Yeah. So for instance, I sometimes watch Korea episodes or Korean movies. What I learn about that is that I actually learn about their culture, how much they respect the elderly people, you know, how much they respect the different age, the food, the abundant food, the nature, the beautiful nature. That's how I learn. I haven't been there yet, but that is in my to-do list. So, you know, when you go to Italy, for example, the culture is so laid back. You know, they love all this pasta, it's so beautiful. It's all about food. You know, when you go to where? Germany, sharp engineering. When you hit the road, the highway, my God, there's no speed limit. So you can like drive so fast, but you have to be very careful, right? So why I'm sharing this is because that different people, different countries, different parts of the world have different culture. So there, and all these culture are unique and special in its own way. There is no such thing as good or bad in my view. It is about how we learn, we appreciate, and we adapt to it, and how we respect each other. That is more important. Okay. So for instance, in Malaysia, you're Malaysian boss, and I'm Malaysian, right? We have our culture, right? We are respectful, we love harmony, we love peace, we love food. How many of you love food? It's lunchtime anyway. I'm sure many of you are hungry. Yeah, we love to hang around, right? We love to travel, we love to go to the beach. Oh, I miss all those things anyway. So regardless of whether Malaysian or non-Malaysian, we have unique culture, and most important is learn, adapt, and respect those culture. Okay? That's my advice.
Okay, thank you, Madam. So, the next question is for Dr. Salasia. So, Dr. Salasia, how to enroll in ZMW graduate series?
Okay, hai. Terus buka kamera balik. Tadi dah buat apa entah behind the camera. Nobody can see. And then during this pandemic time, we always have these online meetings, and then makeup, bawa slow tidur. So after this, no more. I'm loving. Mula-mula tu terkejut with the new norms, and then lama-lama I'm loving this era kan. My son study from home kan, and then kita pun meeting virtually semua. Seronok lah pakai baju kelawar dekat rumah. It will be over soon, and then we will have to be in office. Macam UMland, we are now open for in rotation, but after some time, UMLand will be fully operational. Okay, enough about
So you can leave your kelawar baju back at home lah.
kaftan to mean kaftan.
Yeah, you can leave your kaftan.
Yeah. Okay, come back to the question just now. Thank you for the question, and the answer is I am depending on ZNW for the graduate series because I am told that every one of you out there, fresh grads, final year students, can enroll anytime you want, and then just go to our website, and then can also contact ZNW Asia as in general, and then also contact Miss Aifa if you want. And then the enrollment or registration for any parts of the graduates professional development series, no matter it's for career and advancement, technical skills, essential skills, or the very famous resume writing and interview success, can be picked and choose by you, and then will be tailor-made for you and your university. So the answer to that, yes, the enrollment is open, and then we also have a series that is ongoing depending on your university request. And maybe if you don't want to go through university, you want to go personally, we will also receive the enrollment or registration.
Okay, another question for Dr. Salasia. Will there be more industry advice tour, or the tour already ended?
Okay, thank you for that question, because actually Miss Aifa also know, because she is the producer, one of the producer and MC for this session, and I am told by the CEO that this will be the last one for this tour. I am not informed of any tour this year, because we are in October. We will have November and December left. But I'm told that we will have another tour next year. So maybe we can invite again Madam Yasmin, and maybe we can invite other speakers also, depending on the CEO request. Then we can share more with the fresh grads from the industry, because we already had the expert from creative industry, and then entrepreneurship, expat life, and offshore life. So maybe we can have, sharing session with more experts on technical skills, like engineers, and then we want maybe accountants like Madam Yasmin, and then other job scope from technical aspects also. So that's the answer. Next year maybe the tour will begin again, but for now it's already completed for 2021.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. So for this question, I received from earlier is education level or working experience, which one is more important in industrial?
Madam Yasmin, you want to answer that?
Education level, working experience. Which one is more important?
Yes.
It depends. If the job, it depends on the job. So if the job is meant for graduates, it's meant for new entry, then it's the education. We know that you haven't worked, and this is your first job. So then it's the education lah. What is your, what's your CGPA? What was your contribution when you were in university? Were you active? Were you involved in some of the community work, or you just study, Lone Ranger, those kind of things, a lot of things lah. I'm not going to the interview that is Dr. Salasia's expertise. But if the job is much more senior role, and the expectation is normally is called experience hire, then we will look for someone who has experience. It's not just the education. For instance, if the job is a specialist on certain scope, or if the job is about we need someone already. We state in the advertisement, 5 years experience in accounting, or 10 years experience in engineering, or 20 years experience. Normally it's stated in the advertisement, and I'm sharing this for mainly for big companies, yeah, for corporate companies. So in your case, you will be graduate soon, inshallah, and therefore the job that you will be entering normally is called the new entries. It is meant for graduates. Okay, hope that helps.
Yeah, I also agree with Madam Yasmin, because like she said, the entry level doesn't need more experience, like experience level job advertisement or job requirement. But for you graduates out there, use your current experience. Whatever you have is considered experience also for young graduates like you. For example, your work experience in internship, latihan industry, and then sometimes, like I shared in the slide just now, if you have your own business, small business, maybe you will be in drop ship or something, or maybe you help your family or your parents in their business, during your during working from home, no classes, for example. And then maybe you have part-time jobs, whatever you can, whenever you can, during your study time. So those are the work experience that you can highlight to the employer as an entry level or fresh graduates, young executives. It's not that you don't have experience at all, that you don't have to highlight, or you still have the opportunities to show that you have some business documents or working experience, even though you are graduate.
For entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship. For instance, even if, like, for instance, you are a YouTuber, because you travel around the world, or you travel in Malaysia, you have these nice videos. You can show that that is your experience. That is something interesting about you. Okay. Oh, talking about that, I remember there was one time I interviewed a graduate. There's so many people, but this particular one stands out because I can't remember whether he went to Everest, Mount Everest, but it's something around his travel. So he shared about his exciting travel journey, and that, because of that, he became different, and he became visible to the panel. Yeah, and how he shared his discipline, and how the leadership, the whole experience he had. So that kind of, even your travel, your mission is also value adding to your interview, to your CV.
Madam Yasmin, did he or she get the job?
Yeah, I think he got the job.
Yeah,
Remember, he was a Chinese guy.
because I agree, that's a great experience. Not many people go to Everest. So if you highlight that in your interview, that is so smart of you, that's awesome, so that you can share. And then it's not the thing. It's what you learn from the thing. For example, education lah, sama juga lah kan, traveling and education.
Yeah.
Education is not the things that you learn, it's the training of your mind to think. Kan?
And also how it shape your behavior, your discipline, your mindset. So we know, this type of students, he is independent, he's daring, he's hardworking, he's a team player. There are a lot of things that we can derive based on the story that he shared, with evidence lah, of course, right? So don't take for granted your exciting journey, students. Whatever exciting moment that you have, that can actually be very valuable. You just need to know how to brand yourself and market and share it with passion.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. For Madam Yasmin, tell me about your health work-life balance.
Okay, that's interesting. When I first started working, I think the first 10 years was terrible lah. because I work in accounting, yeah, doing financial reporting. For those of you, do you have any accounting students here, finance students here? You know, Ifa? Not sure. If anyone, okay. If you work in the reporting line for companies, there's this period, this cycle, you know, at month end closing, you have to do reporting. So you only have this small window for you to complete all your work. And it has to happen, do or die, it has to happen. So because of that, people sometimes back then lah, I think until today, even until today, maybe the work culture is like that. Some people had to stay back very late hours, but with technology, better way of working right now, I hope and believe that things have changed a lot today. So the beginning was difficult in terms of like so-called work-life balance. Plus, especially for future young mothers, yeah, I see here some names: Norma Sarah, Malina, what else? Azianil, Fazira. And just call some names here that I see on my screen. Where you get married, you know, you have children, so there's so many challenges, exciting opportunities as well, and balls to balance. Because when you're a student right now, you just take care of yourself, right? Later, you have to take care of your young babies, your young families, your husband, and your new work. There are a lot of things to juggle. So during that period, the so-called work-life balance was difficult. After that, I learned that actually the so-called work-life balance, in my view, this is my personal view, I think it's a myth. There is no such thing as work-life balance. You know, when you go higher up, when you become more senior, there's so much more responsibilities. You have to take care. Like now, I'm taking care of about 1,500 team members under me, under my division, and under my department, with so many operations. So it is getting heavier and heavier, right? So in my view, I personally call it work-life harmony. So it's not like balance as in balance, literally. It's about harmony. So that means I do spend a lot of time at work, but I have quality time with my husband, with my children, for instance. And this is something that I would like to share with you, dear students and graduates. You define your own life. Do not use other people's benchmark, even mine or Dr. Salasia or anybody else, to dictate your own life. Later when you get married, you and your husband define your own life, you know, your own success and your own so-called definition of work-life balance. Yeah. And that's why today, Alhamdulillah, despite having all these heavy responsibilities, I make a point to walk. I try very much to try to walk 10,000 steps per day. Not successful, but actually I got it for a few days. I try to cycle. I just cycled this morning with my husband. And those are the things, the little big thing. It's little, but it's big thing, because when you cycle together with your husband, you know, you feel much more connected. And to me, that's what work-life harmony. And that's what Dr. Salah said just now. Love. To me, that's love, when you do things together with your loved one, you know, your children, your husband, your parents. So be careful with this so-called work-life balance. You will hear it so many times. You decide what you want in life. You decide what so-called work-life balance means to you, your husband, and your own family. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, Madam Yasmin. So I think that's all for the Q&A session. And thank you so much for our speakers for today, Madam Yasmin and also Dr. Salasia. Also, I would like to thank Mr. Seng Yang, who had been very helpful in making this seminar happen with INTI students. So audiences,
Hello.
hi.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Dr. Yasmin and also Dr. Salasia. great to see you here and hear your sharing for 2 hours. Yeah. At the beginning, I heard you all calling me, but the thing is, I had having some audio problem. Very sorry, I can't respond at the time. But
It's
what you all shared with the student actually, I find I also learning something from what you all have been sharing. I believe the student can benefit a lot from this session as well. So yeah, I saw some question from the student. I hope they will be more vocal next time to ask question because you all has been invest your 2 hours on weekends some more with them actually. Actually,
thank you.
it's good sessions. Yeah, we're looking forward. Is there any opportunity next time you can share with our students as well, or we can invite you for a special session for like career preparation workshop kind of thing, which is like an official kind of workshop that we have every semester or something like that. Sure.
Thank
Thank
you,
you. Thank you.
Mr. Sangan. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be part of this journey as well. I'm also learning a lot from the Dr. Salasia and from the rest.
Yeah.
I just want to tap on your point just now that you hope that the students will be much more articulate after this.
Yeah.
I remember the question Ifa asked me about what do you think about Malaysian and non-Malaysian boss? Was that the question just now?
Yeah,
Right?
I think
I want
so.
to share now. Don't talk about boss. Let's talk about Malaysian and non-Malaysian. The Malaysian people are just too shy to speak up. So when you go outside international, if you're just too shy, you'll be at one corner. Nobody notice you. So in a virtual world like this, imagine this is a company. This is not students. You are not student. You are working. Imagine Dr. Salasia is in India, in Canada. Ifa is in Australia. Mr. Sang is in where do you want to go? in,
Uh,
in
yeah, actually, me is stay in Eli, but actually, like you, I love to travel. So, in the past, I been traveling a lot, stand to air show, so everyone can fly.
yeah.
Then throughout that process, what Dr. Salisa mentioned, what we learn how to plan our journey, how to execute, to make sure everything is in order during our stay at overseas, all those things. Yeah, it's something
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. So imagine Mr. Sang is in Italy lah. Okay. Siti Nur Umirah is in India. Nur Maisarah is in, let's say, in Switzerland. Izati here, I just call out some names in front of me, is in Vietnam. So we are all, just imagine for a while, we are all not in Malaysia. We are all in different states and we are working, trying to solve problem. Imagine only Dr. Salasia and me are talking.
Yeah.
Imagine,
Mm-mm.
that will not work. So when you work in a corporate, especially multinational companies, and this is the way we work. It's virtual. We don't get to travel. No company don't pay for you to sit together and discuss the meetings. You work like this. Everyone has to speak up. So please, since you talk about that, I see this is until today, many Malaysians are shy to speak up.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. Just be confident. You need
Agree.
to articulate.
I agree, Madam Yasmin, because when I studied in Australia at that time after matric, so it's around 18 years old, 17, 18, something like that. Very kampung girl. Tak pandai makeup ni. Very kampung girl, very shy. And then when I flew to Australia, they have different accent. Tak faham. Tak faham.
Yes.
Accent is like how do
Good day. Good day.
yeah, like that. Good
Yeah.
day and memang tak faham. But then entam je lah.
Yes.
You don't understand, and then you try to communicate, and you try to understand something you don't
Yes.
understand. So
Yes.
that's what I did. So I agree with sir and madam also. That means don't be shy. Guna entam aja.
Yes.
In English, in Malay, or Madam Yasmin just
Yes.
now mentioned about Netherlands English, something like different accent.
Yes.
Huh.
Scottish also different accent. Indian English also different accent.
Don't be shy.
Just
Just
be shy. Okay.
yeah, and then because when you try to interact a lot, lama-lama you will improve. I am not like this before. The kampung girl has transformed into makeup thing, and that give me confidence. Before tak faham pun Australian accent, now dah boleh faham kita pula terlebih daripada Australian. Like that. So just try, guys, just try. And this is the living example of before and after.
I think this will be a new norm because most of the time now people tend to have a collaboration through this like online platform.
True.
Student, I think it's this very good advice from all your seniors here, Dr. Salasia and also Dr. Yasmin, that you need to actually step out for the comfort zone. You need to learn how to collaborate, how to network with others.
Exactly.
So it's important for you to actually speak up, share your mind. Then only we can have interactive session actually.
Sure. You know, when I was working and living with my international colleagues and friends community, my God, they are just so confident. They just tembak. And I realized they're not as rajin as us, you know. We Asian, we Malaysian are super rajin. Especially Chinese lah, I must say like that.
And super smart.
We are super smart Malaysian.
Smarter.
But we are so shy to speak up. So it's the Mak Saleh yang shine, yang look good, yang look like terror, you know. So in future, whenever you have opportunity like this, I encourage you, don't let Aifa ask question. You ask question. Don't just put chat. Just speak up. Okay.
That's why for students, because I noticed at INTI International University, actually we have a portion of international students. When we ask question, most of the time the international student will ask question, while the local student will keep quiet, low profile, very low profile. That's why we need to change this kind of.
We have to change. We must change.